Hey guys, we're back for some more standard, currently ranked 63 Mythic. I have a big change to the Boros Humans deck, which I'm very excited about, and this change came about because of you. I want to give a shout out to my viewers. One of you commented that Enduring Bond Warden was really, really good in the deck, and I decided to give it a whirl today. And I cut Recruitment Officer, which is a 2/1 human soldier for 1 mana that is aggressive early and then has some value later by paying 4 mana to look at the top 4 cards to see if you can find another creature there and then put it in your hand, which is great late game. And early game, I just found like this deck is so fast because you've got Imidane's Recruiter to just end games, sometimes on even as early as turn 4, that having the Bond Warden is actually very synergistic in this deck. Number one, it can provide you an extra body to block if you put the counter somewhere else, and then it just gives you sort of a little bit extra insurance. Also, it's great at tapping for Convoke after giving its counter somewhere else, so it's still useful in that way. And also, it kind of shortcuts things for Warden of the Inner Sky. So for instance, if you go turn 1 Warden, turn 2 maybe Reinforcements, and then put a counter on Warden, and then turn 3, you can go Bond Warden, give its counter, and then tap for the 3rd counter. You can basically get this thing in the air an entire turn faster. So that's a really nice combo there. And just kind of all around, it just has a lot of utility, especially in this deck. A lot of times you find you have maybe your Kellen is trying to attack, but it's not quite big enough to get through their defenses. And so if you play Enduring Bond Warden, you can kind of, get it that extra point of damage and toughness to have it go tall enough to get through. And so, yeah, overall, I've just found Enduring Bond Warden to be really, really effective in this specific deck. So that's the major change there. The only other minor change, I cut down 1 copy of Inti, just to make room for the extra 1-drop, because I wanted 12 1-drops. I'd had 11, and I think with 12, you're more likely to have a 1-drop on turn 1. And it just seems like a lot of games are won or lost, whether you have a 1-drop. So if you have a 1-drop, maybe you're in it. If you don't, maybe you're not. So turn 1 play is super important. At any rate, I also wanted to say the link that had not been working because on my Untapped GG profile was down should now be fixed, and so all the deck lists should link. In the description, you're going to see a link for the current list as well as the ultra budget list, which I think is just a really nice way to get started there again. If you want to play this deck but you don't have the rares or the mythics, it's a really good way to get your foot in the door. So that list is in the description. All that said, let's go ahead and jump into some games. I am just so excited about this deck. It's just been so much fun to play, and yeah, it's doing really well. So we're gonna get into it. But if you're one of my newer viewers, first of all, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you. If you like my content, consider subscribing or sending it to a friend who might like it also. And for my returning viewers, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you from the bottom of my heart, so thank you for being here. It means the world to me. This hand looks great. We've got a really nice turn 1 Warden into turn 2 Reinforcements to kind of get things going. All right, so let's get Mirix here. We won't have access to red, which is a minor downside, but I think holding the Aganjo is a little bit, it's valuable to keep this around. So yeah, right now we're just gonna go Reinforcements here. We're up against just planes, so could be aggro, could be control. I think we just want to get this going. And then Yeah, we could certainly use an extra land here. This will let us go Adeline next turn, and then like turn 4 we could go Coppercoat plus Thalia. So that's actually fine. I think I'm okay with this. Okay, looks like we're up against some version of Toxic. Yeah. And yeah, we're just going to get Adeline going here. And then I think, yeah, let's just pump this up a little bit. I guess the question is, like, do we give it another counter? Because then that'll kind of open the door for them getting in for some points here of Toxic. But I think it is good enough to get this thing going in the air, so I think I'm going to do it. This is kind of controversial, but... Okay, don't need a 5th land. I guess we could also just hold this here. Because they're just going to get... Like, do we want to push the 3 damage for 2 Toxic? It actually might be worth it to not. I guess the downside is, like, if they have, like, turn 3... you know, whatever their version of Brutal Cathar is, then it's kind of not looking great. But it might be a little hard for them to get through this, so maybe we sit, just because Toxic is so explosive. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to play it slow here. Not sure if this is right. Okay, so they did have the Annex Sentry. So yeah, I guess we could have pushed the damage there, but that did force them to do that instead of like targeting Adeline. And then if they get in for 2, we can shove next turn with everything and then use a Ganjo to get back our Warden if they decide to block anything. So we could play Thalia here, because then we can Ganjo for 1. Coppercoat is nice, just because it pushes more damage, but then we can't threaten the Ganjo. So I think maybe let's get Thalia going. They do have some spells, although not a ton. So I think let's make sure we tap our Mirrex, and then tap the Secluded Courtyard, since you won't be able to cast a Ganjo off of that. So now we can just shove. And then see if we can bait them into blocking. Okay, that's great. Yep, and they're just going to scoop right on the spot. But yeah, really, really loving this deck. Also, I kind of wanted to mention, again, like, when you guys share your stories of your own successes with this deck, that is, like, super, super meaningful to me. So I really appreciate hearing about you guys. If you're having success, what's working, what's not working. Like, if there's things that I can do to, help you guys in any way. Because again, like, it's really cool that, I'm making a run at like the top 100, but I want to see you guys there also. Yeah, this hand is awesome. And then here, I would do Lunarch Veteran to get life going, but since we've got Warden directly into reinforcements, I guess we could do Warden. Although I suppose since we have all these 1-drops, we could just do the Veteran and then 2 Wardens next turn for kind of the same effect. So yeah, I guess we might as well do Veteran here. Okay, Angels is a super explosive deck that goes quick, so this is going to be potentially a very difficult match. Right, let's get our Wardens going. And Warden will also play like a pretty big role in this deck, or against this matchup. So let's see, Thalia. Do we want Thalia? Can't remember all their cards. They have a lot of. I guess they might run like Wandering Emperor, so it's possible that we want to keep Thalia going. I guess like what could we draw into instead? Like next turn we're probably going to go Adeline. Yeah, I could see Thalia being decent here. I guess we could. Yeah, I think we could leave Thalia on top. I'm really not sure about Thalia here. I guess it just depends on like how many non-creature spells they're running in their list. But they're probably, they probably do have some targeted like spot removal. Okay, so now I want to get Adeline going, but I also want to bait the Aganjo here. So I think, how do we do this? I guess we could attack with maybe like these two, and then, or just like the Warden, and then if they block, we can go Aganjo. And then we can do like Adeline post-combat. Yeah, I think maybe that's the play. I guess let's attack with Warden first, see what they do, and Adeline afterwards. Like, it's pretty obvious what we have going on here, but killing their Seraph is going to be huge. So unfortunately, this way we don't get the... we can't buff it up again, but I think this is certainly worth it to kill the Seraph. Okay, did not see that coming. Undying Malice, that was pretty nasty. It's a nice combo. It's going to be really tough to come back from. So I think, yeah, we're very close to just dead. I'm not even sure if there's any sequence of cards that we could get here that would get us there. Like, we could try to get a flyer here. That's probably our only hope. Okay, Warden actually is decent here because I can let us play 3 creatures. It's probably still not enough. But yeah, that was a nasty blowout with Undying Malice. Okay, that's gonna do it. I have not run into that version of Angels before, so it's a very nice trick with the Steel Seraph, getting it back for full value. I'm also really hoping we could run into some mono red, because I do want to test this deck, you know, with all the changes against mono red. Here, I think we just want to get Kellen going. Like, we could try to, like, get him with reinforcements, but I'm sure, you know, they'll be aware of it. Plus, Kellen, we want to start this engine here pretty soon. That was a very, very nice turn for them. So yeah, I think we just want to get Adeline going here. Yeah, nothing else really. They're probably going to start working on Warden of the Inner Sky. Maybe get in with like Knight Errant of Eos here. Vanguard is super nasty. And I think if they get in with Knight Errant, we probably double block. Okay, so we could go like double reinforcements. Actually, I want to get Vanguard down first. I think let's get Vanguard going, and then, like, I suppose if we knew we were drawing into a land, we could go like reinforcements, reinforcements, and the next turn like Vanguard plus Recruiter. That would be pushing a lot of damage. I guess, like, the question is, do we want to trade Adeline here for their Knight Errant? It's okay. I mean, like, it does hold a lot of stuff back right now, so maybe we don't. I think maybe let's just go with Copper Coat. And I guess let's go reinforcements end of turn. But I think we just sit. Okay, so they're probably going to start getting in with Warden. If they, like, tap everything down, we can try to go for, like, a big Immodane's turn. Okay, they've just got a really great draw. And I guess they totally whiffed on it. We could double block with like reinforcement tokens. I guess, well, let's... I guess we could go like Kellen plus token. Because like that's not getting through. I suppose next turn like Kellen could be more valuable. But I think that like we don't want to drop a lot of life here. So I think we're okay trading here. Let's see, if we just take it and like next turn we play like reinforcements plus recruiter, they block like here, here, and here. They take like 4, 7, 9, 12, 15. It's not quite enough. So I think we do block it here. All right, I think we do another turn of setup with like Thalia plus reinforcements, and then if the board is still super sticky, we can try to go for like the 5 mana trained troops. And again, I'm not excited about trading Adeline for his Knight Errant. So I think we just sit. Oh my god, he's got like an insane amount of creatures here. Whew. Yeah, now the race is on. We got to kind of get going. He beat us to the punch on the Warden. And we don't really have time for the backup plan now. Okay, well, there's a Warden, so I guess we could get Warden going. But he can make his Warden, I think, bigger than ours quite easily. So that's not exactly a great plan. If we Warden into Imidanes, how much are we pushing? So 4 blockers. He blocks like here, 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 and probably one of these. Or I guess he blocks both of these. So we're pushing 3, 6, 10, 12, 15. I think we're kind of out of time, though. I think we sort of have to get going. So I think we definitely push with Imidane. He's going to get us for one of our creatures for sure. Thalia gets in, Adeline. I think we want to keep our Copper Coat back. And then I think we push both of our reinforcements. Well, the problem is he can just like return push for a ton of damage. I'm not sure exactly like how many to send. This is just a tough Like, we have to have enough that he respects it, but... Okay, so he gets our Adeline. He probably trades there with his officers. I guess he can trade a 1/1, which is kind of awkward. Yeah, and I think we can't put a counter on this because he's got so much damage coming in. Okay, he had his own recruiter. Yep. Mirror match. I think he just kind of went bigger than us, faster than us. I think we're just dead, right? Yeah, we kind of... I suppose we needed our Thalia back to block his Copper Coat if he was dumb enough to send it. So, like, even blocks here, here, and here. We're still taking 6. Yeah, we're definitely dead. Tough beats. But that was, I mean, it was a good match. Also, guys, like, if you see plays that I don't see, please put them in the comments, because, like, I don't see everything, so... If you see a better play than I do, just like put it out there. I think people will appreciate it for sure. I'll definitely appreciate it. But yeah, it's been really fun. I just wanted to try to get at least one game with Enduring Bond Warden because it's just been so magical in this deck. Like once you try it, you just won't want to go back. All right, hand looks great. I've also been jamming a lot of games on my laptop, which unfortunately doesn't track on Untapped GG. So the match data isn't perfect, but you know, we're doing the best we can. Here we're leading out with Veteran because next turn we can go Veteran plus Warden and then use that to get Warden going. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention. One of my viewers mentioned something with the audio where like directly linking into the audio from the game. And so I added another channel that is coming like right from the game. So hopefully you can tell if there's a difference. If it is better, please let me know. So I would love to know. All right, let's get life going here with Veteran, and then we can go Warden and then start pumping it up. And we're definitely just racing because this thing gets out of hand so incredibly quickly. I do like reinforcements. It does buy us some time. What are we doing next turn? I guess like next turn we probably just... Maybe we can do better? I think it's fine. I guess what we actually want here is Thalia, probably, to slow down his all of his stuff here. Could go Copper Coat. I think we just want reinforcements here to just buy some time, honestly. 4-mana is actually okay for us. I think we're actually fine with that. Now if he has like Angel Fire, it's super rough, because then he'll get Trample. I guess if he's got it, he's got it. Yeah, he had the Monstrous Rage. That's... Is that... That might be it. Oh, yeah. Whew, that's a rough one. All right, let's do one more. There we go. We got a Bond Warden. Super excited. I wanted to see at least one game with it. All right, really happy to get Kellen going. Kellen is just a great threat in general. And I mean, if we get an opening for Adeline, we might as well take it. Could also go Coppercoat plus Bond Warden here. But I think we just want to get Adeline going. Okay, so we've got enough for everything here, I think. Yeah, we just go Coppercoat into Bond Warden into Knight Errant. And we want to pick Athalia for sure. Probably, and then reinforcements for 2 creatures. So if he doesn't have board wipe here, that's probably it. It's pretty good, but I don't think it's enough. Yeah. So if we just Imidanes here, we're pushing. He probably blocks like here and here. So he takes 4, 6, 9, 13, and then we've got another Imidanes for next turn. Yeah, I think we just do that and shove. Or maybe he blocks like that in Warden. All right, well, it's nice to end on a win. And again, thanks guys for watching. Really appreciate it. But yeah, I hope you see a little bit like, just like the flexibility that Bond Warden gives you is really nice. So let's take a look at the stats. Okay, so we are currently 62% win rate, 93 wins, and 58 losses. So with the updated stats, we're getting a little bit better against mono red. You didn't see it here, but we're up to about 42%. So a lot of the more recent games have actually been wins against mono red. So hopefully the deck change was really going to be a nice positive thing there. We're actually ticking up a little bit against mono white also. Having access to Warden is super huge. And Mirror is still at 50-50. Some of the rough matches are still going to be Jund and like a lot of like the domain decks that are just super go over the top kind of decks. And then some difficulty with dinos, like Dino into like Bonehorde Dracosaur that just like sits there and gets value, can be a little hard for us. But other than that, I mean, we're doing really great with this deck. Like Selesnya is great. We have positive against Orzhov. Pretty good matchup against Control. Since we've got Imidanes, it's really nice to just get them with that. And then doing decently against Rakdos Anvil as well. So yeah, overall just like really happy. And actually doing great against Simic artifacts as well. So anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you, and we will see you tomorrow.